Remember the month of September. So this is that time of the year when the campus comes back to life by virtue of this microphone, NUST and the Scholars Avenue. A very warm welcome to all the freshmen that have just arrived on scene. The orientation 2025 is in full effect, and we are really excited to have you guys on board to the greater NUST community and the NUST nation. And we wish you the very best of times ahead. But this is not the end of it. This fall, NUST has transitioned into an entirely new domain of public policy and leadership, and moving beyond its decades of stellar contributions in engineering and technology. Today on the Avenue, we are diving deep with a scholar who helps us understand how the words that we use become the world we live in. A specialist in leadership and public policy, the principal of the Jinnah School of Public Policy and Leadership, Dr. Hassan Jalil. Dr. Hassan, it's a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me with me. It's a great pleasure.
Thank you. इससे अच्छा वक्त हो नहीं सकता था वैसे.
I understand. I fully agree.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
The weather is changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The weather on campus is changing.
Absolutely.
And this is the new beginning of something, and NUST is expanding.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
This is the Jinnah School of Public Policy and Leadership, right?
Yeah.
But before we dive deeper into that, we hear words like policy, reform, change, thrown all around us. What does these words exactly mean? And are they just buzzwords, or do they actually mean something?
Again, I will say thank you very much for calling me here, having you with me, and it's a great opportunity to be here. And I must appreciate that you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Now, what is public policy? There are certain terms which we need to understand: goals, policy, plans, programs, and projects. So the government has goals, right? The goal, there's a broader in scope. Goal is to eliminate poverty. If the government says that eliminate poverty, so can they do it with a magic wand that poverty is eliminated from tomorrow?
I wish we had a magic wand.
So we can't do it. The government says that we want to have environmental safety, or we want to produce employment, we want to eliminate employment, or we want to empower youth. So that is a broader goal. Now, to translate those broader goals into action, you need to have certain guidelines, certain frameworks, and certain rules and regulations. The public policy is that element which translates those goals into, helps translate into reality. And it is always those frameworks, laws and regulations which are responding to a public need or some issue at that time. Now, when the goals are translated, say again, I will be talking of the youth empowerment, right? The goal is empowering the youth. Now, out of that, then you have to make a policy that which segment of the youth you want to target, what plans you want to have, which programs you want to have. So you make the policy that how next 5 years we will be translating this into action.
Now, of course, the way forward, right?
Yeah, the way forward. But
what's going to happen next?
Yeah, so that then those policies, from the policy derives plans, right? Plan 1 is targeting the university students. Plan B is targeting the out-of-school children. Plan C is, aiming at the madrasa children. So these are out of that plans emerge. And from the plan, then we go again into dive deeper and we make programs. And from programs, we make projects. So the project is one-time unique thing, and the overall encompassing is the policy. So policy then needs, that the most important thing for the policy is that you correctly identify the need.
Okay, this is all about how things will move forward. This is a paimana, this is a measuring tool that we identify problems, and then we we just write down guidelines how to fix them. That's understandable. But in our part of the world, in our region, especially in Pakistan, what are we trying to fix here?
As I said, through policy, it permeates all sectors of life. Policy permeates all sectors of life. And then the government feels the need that we need to, every government comes with an agenda, right? The agenda is industrialization, it could be urbanization, it could be improving the agriculture. So these are the different things, because that is based on what the government goes back to the public after every 5 years. Now, so I mean, the need is there, and then we formulate the policies, and the policies are then shaped, and that is how we translate into it. While I talked about the goals and policy and plans and programs, as I said, the most important thing is the stepping stone is identification of the problem.
Yes.
If you do not identify the problem correctly, you will go wrong into that. So that is the broader perspective.
So when we talk about moving beyond classrooms, lecture theatres, and the conventional education, so when we talk about the nation's mission, so this is something, the beginning or the genesis of the Jinnah School of Public Policy and Leadership. This is major expansion for NUST, and this is something really big. You called it the School of Schools, right? Let's talk about why did JSPPL happened in the first place.
Every university has, the university what it's all has departments like international relations. They have department of public policy. They have department of political science. They have department of data sciences. And all of them, they work in silos. Right now, the issue is that the global complexities are increasing by the day. Now, and the local challenges and global complexities, they have to be intertwined with each other. The global complexity could be digitization, it could be economy, it could be climate, different things, right? Now, as I said, that when everyone is working in a silo, they come up with solutions which do not neither identify the problem nor give the comprehensive response to the problem. So there was a need which is felt that you need to have a system thinking, right? So the system thinking is that rather than focusing on individual issue, you connect dot connecting, you do the dot connecting, you connect the problems, correlate the problems, and then come up with the solution. So this was the primary motive of when we have our new rector. He came up with this idea that we need to have a comprehensive solution, a platform which provides comprehensive solutions to the government, to the academia, and to the to the public as well.
Yes.
And that is how we came up with this idea of the interconnectivity, interdisciplinarity, and integration of the different fields of education, in which we will be providing a platform to the government, to the academia, to come up with innovative solutions for the innovative problems of the Pakistan that is there. And of course, we draw our aspirations for this from our founding fathers, that is Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, his principled leadership, and the way he carved out a nation for us, and then the vision of Allama Iqbal, who dreamt of Pakistan, not only a Pakistan, but a larger Ummah in that context. So that is how we came up with this, the rector, of course, came up with this idea of Jinnah School of Public Policy and Leadership. And it is first of its kind in any public sector university in Pakistan.
Well,
while as you said that probably we are quite late in that.
Why? Why is that?
The US has about 34 public policy schools, and their study of the public policy, it started from the Woodrow Wilson and things like that, and they are specialized into that. So for us, we have taken the first step in this direction by creating the Jinnah School of Public Policy and Leadership, which is not focusing only on public policy, but is focusing on the overall canvas of the national perspective.
Dr. Hassan, you know that we are known for a university. The reputation of NUST is about the engineering and technology, right? But social sciences is like a relatively young, discipline in NUST. But then again, जो आप कह रहे हैं, उससे तो ये लग रहा है कि social sciences, and a part of it is the policy and leadership. So this will eventually affect every discipline in NUST.
Perfectly.
So it is needed, right?
Yeah, but to explain, I will give you a couple of examples. There is a concept which we call the Cobra effect. When the Britishers they came to India, there was some region where there were a lot of snakes, cobra snakes. So what the Britishers announced was that anyone who brings a dead cobra will be given 2 rupee or 3 rupee, whatever the price.
An actual dead cobra?
So the people, they started bringing cobras. Now the incentive was that you get money, right? So people started breeding cobras, right? When they started breeding cobras, so the government at that time, they realized that this policy is not working. When they realized that, they stopped paying for that. When the people, they stopped getting money, they left the cobras in the jungle. The cobras that they had reared or bred, they left it in the jungle.
Yes.
So they end up with a problem bigger than what they had identified. Right. So that is how, I mean, when the issue is not identified. That's the second thing. Why now I'm coming to is a bit long-winding response to that. The second, the chaos theory. In the chaos theory, we talk of the butterfly effect, right? And we say a butterfly, when it flaps its wing in the Amazon jungle, it may cause a tornado in Texas. Right? The chaos theory, it says that the initial minor effect initially, if not addressed, will create a bigger problem later on, right? So that's the second thing. Now, again, I'm coming to that. You are talking of the social sciences vis-a-vis the natural sciences or the engineering sciences.
Yes.
You know about the Great Sahara Desert,
Yes.
right? One of the driest place on Earth. They have about 10 millimeter rain annual. And you also know about the Amazon forests,
Yes.
right? The distance is roughly about 4,000 kilometers. Now, how the two are connected to each other?
How?
Yeah, that's very interesting. Every year, because of the dryness, the dry air that is created, the Sahara Desert, it produces about 22,000 tons of phosphorus.
And
that forest, through the winds, is transported to the Amazon jungles. The Amazon jungle, because of the rain and the soil, every year it loses about 22,000 tons of phosphorus. And now, based on that, if you decide one day, that you are going to irrigate Sahara Desert, right now you're doing it with a very good intention, right? You're trying to irrigate the Sahara Desert, but the effect that it will have on the Amazon forest is that the entire Amazon forest is going to, the system is going to be disrupted. So that is the importance of the social sciences, that how you connect, whereas the engineering sciences and the natural sciences, they have their own place, right? So, but there is a need to integrate an interdisciplinary approach toward these things. And that is how the JSPPL, when I said the JSPPL is going to be school of schools, so that is how it's going to, interweave the different, platforms that NUST has and produce a viable solution to the needs of the country.
what direct effect will JSPPL have on the other disciplines at NUST?
Prima facie, as I said, that I've explained this concept that everything is connected.
Yes.
In our society. Everything
Yes.
is connected.
Absolutely.
Nothing is in isolation.
Yes.
If you take a step in isolation, it is going to end up in a disaster bigger than what you wanted to address. And the example that I gave you was the Cobra effect that I explained to you.
Who are going to be this? What do you call them? The stakeholders at the JSPPL.
Every student of NUST is our stakeholder. We are not addressing just the students of the students. Are JSPPL students are just one component. Our stakeholder, our target is every student of NUST. How? Now, when we came up with this, first I'll just explain that the JSPPL is investing in the future of this country, and in this is a strategic investment. As I said, that it is an interdisciplinary approach that we are bringing. We are producing the leaders who will have a vision which is value-centric, value-based education, and vision-based. They'll have this approach over there, right? Unique thing about the JSPPL is that even this, unique, this may not even you be finding in the International School of Public Policy. Of course, what we are looking for is the HKS, the Harvard Kennedy School. Then we have the Blacknamic Public School. Then we have LKY in Singapore. Now, what differentiates even JSPPL from these schools? What we have done is that we have brought under the umbrella of JSPPL 4 components. There's a traditional academic component, the Governance and Public Policy Department, which was previously part of the S3H, now forms the part of the academic part of the JSPPL. Then our Executive Development Centre, which was previously the Professional Development Centre, working in RIC, we have renamed it and we have now calling it as the Iqbal Executive Development Centre.
The transitioning
the
of
transitioning.
the PDC.
Now, what Iqbal Executive Development Centre is doing is that while it will continue focusing on the corporate sector, it is also going to bring into its fold the public sector, the policy makers, the decision makers, right? So they will be, brought over here, we learn from them and we give to them. So that is the second component. The third component, which is again a unique idea, is of the general education. Now, what general education does is that you know that HEC, for the BS degree, HEC has about, you say that the minimum is 124 credit hours and the max is 140 credit hours, right? Out of that, 32 credit hours are earmarked for the general education, right? The general education means the foundational education that any undergrad would like, we would like to equip them. That is their critical thinking, their community engagement, their religious studies, that is Islamiyat and Pakistan studies, right? So every university,
जो core professional courses नहीं होते, उसके अलावा जो भी courses होते हैं,
जिसको हम general education कहते हैं, तो तमाम यूनिवर्सिटियां ये जो है ना ऑफर कर रही हैं because it's part of the curriculum, right? But what we have done is कि हमने उन जितने भी यूनिवर्सिटी के हमारे schools हैं, about 21 schools of them, उसमें जितने भी ये जो जनरल एजुकेशन के जो कोर्सेज थे, उनको हम we have brought them under the umbrella of Jinnah School of Public Policy, and we not only have brought them under the umbrella of Jinnah Public School of Policy, but we are giving them a vision, right? We are giving them a sense of direction. We are giving them a purpose. That how will you teach these essential courses to the students? So end of the day, you know that NUST employability record is almost 100%, right? No graduate of R remains without a job. But the issue is that while we are producing good graduates, are we also producing good citizens, right? Are they contributing to the betterment of Pakistan and betterment of the society? So what we have done is that the general education will now focus on this aspect, which is unfortunately, per se, we can say that it was not probably given that due attention. So what we have done is that the Pakistan study and ideology and constitution of Pakistan, we have formed one department, Pakistan study department, and Islamiyat and Family Quran. We have brought them into another department, which is we call the Islamiyat department, and we are now centrally training those. Jinnah School of Public Policy is training those people. We are giving them capacity building. Right now, they are in a session. Yesterday, they had a session with the professor who has actually designed this course of Family Quran, right? So we are giving them exactly what they intend. It's not going to be just fill in the blank. We are going for a purpose-driven education system in NUST, in which we will be looking at producing the graduates who will be a good citizen of Pakistan, good citizen of the country, and who will not only be graduate in these two, but will also have a set of complementary skills.
Inshallah, I sincerely hope so this happens.
Now what happens is, again, the conventional degree is losing its value because of the AI, because of the digitization.
Skills are the new game.
Yeah. Now degree is fortified by soft skills, right? The employer will have difficulty absorbing in a person who does not have those skills. So what we have done is that the Community Development Centre, which was working on the skills, that has also been brought under the roof of JSPPL. The community engagement center that we have, which was previously housed in one school, it has also been brought to JSPPL. So our aim is now to produce a graduate who is not only good in his academics, but who is a better citizen of this society.
But, Dr. Hassan, isn't people might argue.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
This is not just my opinion.
Correct.
People might argue.
Absolutely.
With this is again a critique may arrive on the table. That isn't it too late? Like, this whole thing should begin from the grassroots. By the time a student reaches a university, it's a whole different ballgame. Students are adults by that time, and is the inculcation even possible, or can we teach this to the students by this time?
I perfectly agree with you on this.
Yes.
Right? There's no second opinion about it. But the issue is that if something was missing, should we also let it go?
No.
Right? We say what the rector and those in the policymaker of this university, we say that better late than never.
Yes.
Right? So it's still, we have an opportunity. Since I am a student of neurosciences, leadership from the perspective of neurosciences, I think that we still have a small window still available to us. Because the girl that come to us, the general age is about 17 years of age, right? The neural composition of the person, it is completed by 25 years of age, right? So we still have, although we might have missed a greater chunk of their development, we still have that fleeting opportunity still there, right? And we would like to maximize the 4 years that they have with us in inculcating them those values that we need, that were once the hallmark of our society, of our ummah, and of our generation.
So, Dr. Hassan, why I ask you this question? Because the larger portion of our population is below the age of 30.
Yeah.
The other day we had a conversation as well, that almost like 70%
of
the population is below the age of 30. This is a demographic transition.
Exactly.
We're talking about Pakistan's, it's a defining demographic characteristic of Pakistan.
Yeah.
So it's a classic make or break if you think about it. So do you feel that it's a significant opportunity, or do you think it's a monumental challenge for the Pakistan's development?
Both, right? You're very rightly outed. Pakistan is one of the youngest countries in the world, where 70% of the population is below 30 years of age, right? And out of that, 34% are in this group, cohort, which is in the universities over here, right? Now, when we say out of 2,400 millions, if we say that 70%, that means roughly about 20 million, right? They are 200 million, they are the young lot.
Yes.
Now, it is a monumental challenge, but it is also a great opportunity. If we invest in this lot correctly, and we, like the word that I use for the university student, the vision that even rector has is, we use the word chisel, right? We want to chisel the boys, the girls that we have over there. We can, this demographic bulge that we have, they can turn around the fate of this country. But if you don't, there's a big catastrophe waiting for us. After 10 years, 15 years, there's a catastrophe. It can, this explosion can implode the country if they are not properly cultivated, they're not groomed, there's not enough opportunities for them, if they do not have their stakes, interest in the country.
Yes.
So it is as you said, that it is an opportunity. You said that what the role of policymaker. Now that is where the policy formulation come into place. How to harness this potential. We have such a big potential. How to harness this? What are the ways that we can harness this? What plans can we make for them? What policies can we formulate for them, so that they become our asset rather than a liability for us?
What are our biggest policy challenges? Some of them I know, some of them we know.
Yeah.
We're talking about maybe economic failed policies, or we're talking about the narrow-based taxation, or malnutrition, climate, change, and whatnot. There's so many things. Health, education. What do you think are the biggest policy challenges for Pakistan?
Honestly, I would go for a softer, intangible thing is the vision. Sometimes I feel that we are moving rudderless. We do not have a central vision that where we are going to take the country to. So if that is correctly identified, then of course we can have the policy of First of all is again, it would be franchising the youth that we have.
Franchising the youth.
So investing into them and making the best out of them. That is the first thing. And then there are, of course, we have the economic issues that we have economic autonomy. If we can achieve so that we can make our own decisions, our policy planners can make our own decisions, that could be another. Yes. Then we are confronted with other policies, with challenges like we have the climate. We are all nowadays, we all are facing how the climate is treating us so badly.
We are experiencing this like never before.
Yeah. Now that again, it is all those butterfly effect, right? Because we did not, invest in time in our harvesting our water potential into making green zones, not having reservoirs, not investing into different things. So that butterfly effects, it comes back, it bounces again and again and again.
You know, every ad campaign, Dr. Hassan Jalil, I myself am a marketer. We are from the marketing department. When we are approaching a certain marketing campaign or we are making an ad, we use big words like all around the world. The universities use in their ad campaigns the word like the future leaders, you know, the 21st century leaders and all that. This is a very big statement. And I've always felt this, that is it verbosity nahi honi chahiye. This shouldn't be all just words. So the juice of the component, the juice of the JSPPL, is it? This is straight out the question to you. ये मतलब समझ लें कि दिल की आवाज़ है ये. Do you think JSPPL is going to bring significant change in Pakistan in the future?
We are taking the first step. As we all know, this Chinese proverb that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Yes.
So we have taken the first step over here in the JSPPL. As I said, that we are investing not in the students of JSPPL, we are investing in the entire NUST. And the word that I have used is, like we always say, system of systems. So I use the word the school of schools, right? As I said, that we are investing in all the students to be good citizens. We are skilling them. We are also involving them in community engagement. And we are giving them one component of the JSPPL that I would also like to mention is the uniqueness, the uniquity of the JSPPL is our innovation policy lab, right? Yeah. So rather than just giving rhetoric, the word that you use in the marketing, use the big word, etc., we are going for evidence-based policy making, data-driven decision making. So that is going to be the hallmark of us. So our student will be, when he goes out in the field, he will not just be talking haywire. He will know how to make sense of the data. He will know how to collect evidence for a policy making or challenge a policy, right? He will be, inshallah, a good citizen, and he will be involved with the community, and he will also be honed with the soft skills that we like to impart to them to make them a real 21st century leader that way.
I think the beauty of interdisciplinarity is that it brings all sorts of skill set on one table, right? So when you talk about the merger of the data analytics, the new AI tools, the new technological shifts, you're talking about merging everything together. How this happens? मुझे actually मैंने इस बात को समझना है. On the surface, it's policy making and teaching people to be better human beings and citizens. How does the data analytics AI becomes a part of it?
देखिए, एक हम उसे कहते हैं predictive analytics, क्योंकि हमने predictive analytics कर लिया, हमने डाटा ले लिया कि जी ये नेक्स्ट ईयर जो है ना उसका रेन्स का जो है ना क्या होगा. सो प्रिडिक्टिव एनालिटिक्स जो है ना हम करते होते हैं बेस्ड ऑन दी पास्ट एनालिटिक्स के ऊपर कर रहे हैं. नाउ हाउ JSPPL कैसे कर रहा है, जैसे मैंने बताया कि हमारी जो इनोवेशन पॉलिसी लैब है इसके अपने कंपोनेंट्स हैं. वी आर वर्किंग इनटू डाटा एनालिटिक्स, AI इंटीग्रेशन, ऑल्सो सिमुलेशन एंड केस स्टडीज. ये सारी चीज़ें हम जो है ना वहाँ पे बनाएंगे. नाउ हाउ आर वी डूइंग इट? ये जो है ना द पॉलिसी लैब विल बी अ ब्रिज बिटवीन IEDC, Iqbal Executive Development Centre, and the Governance and Public Policy Department. So when the people come to us in the IEDC, हम उनको केस स्टडीज जो है ना इस पॉलिसी एनालिसिस पॉलिसी लैब से केस स्टडीज बना के देंगे. ان کو سیمولیٹ کر کے ہم پرابلم دیں گے کہ جی یہ ابھی رینز کا ہے یا کوئی اور کلیمٹی ہے, اس طرح کی چیزیں ہم ان کو ڈفرنٹ جو ہے نا اس کی پاسبلٹی اسٹیمولیٹ کرتے ہیں.
I'm sorry to interject. When you say لوگ آپ کے پاس آئیں گے, this is like you are basically dishing out trainings, right? This will be training for the government and private officials.
Exactly.
And the corporate sector.
Yeah, IEDC, as I said, that previously it was only catering for the corporate sector. Now we are doing for the public sector also. So public sector کے جو ہم leaders کو لائیں گے اپنے پاس, ہم ان کو case study, simulation based on that ان کو problems create کر کے دیں گے اور ان کو کہیں گے کہ جی ابھی آپ کی solutions جو ہے نا ڈرائیو کریں, ہوم گرون solutions جس کو ہم کہتے ہوتے ہیں. وہ جب کریں گے and they bring with them their own experience, جو field experience ہے نا وہ لے کے آ رہے ہوتے ہیں کرنے کے لیے. یہی چیز ہم واپس جو ہے نا اس کو policy innovation lab کو دیں گے and they will give it to the governance and public department کو. اکیڈیمکس میں اس کو انٹیگریٹ کریں گے, اکیڈیمکس والے سولوشن بنائیں گے اینڈ گیو اٹ ٹو دا IEDC. سو دیٹ از ہاؤ جو انٹر آپریبلٹی ہے ان کی جو ہے نا وہ ہوگی. ان کو جو ہے نا ہم دیں گے جس کو ہم کہتے ہیں ایکسپیرینشیل لرننگ دیں گے, ان کو ہم انٹر ڈسپلنریٹی دیں گے, ان کو جو ہے نا ہم اس کو دیں گے انٹیگریشن دیں گے. اینڈ دا اوور آل نیٹ افیکٹ از دا سینرجی دیٹ وی ول پروڈیوس ان آر جو ویلیو بیسڈ ایجوکیشن میں, ٹریننگ میں. سینرجی ہم ایسے پروڈیوس کریں گے کہ نسٹ کے اندر جو ہے نا ہم سیکس کے ساتھ مل کے کام کریں گے, ہم SSME کے ساتھ کام کریں گے, ہم ہیلتھ اسکول کے ساتھ کام کریں گے, لا اسکول کے ساتھ کام کریں گے, اینڈ آؤٹ سائڈ میں جو گورنمنٹ کی ڈپارٹمنٹس ہیں ان کے ساتھ کام کریں گے. سو وی ول endeavor to create a synergy in our work.
ڈاکٹر حسن, یہ کافی بھاری بیڑا آپ لوگوں نے اٹھایا اپنے کندھوں پہ, if you think about it, because the first question to you again is کہ if you're going to train, or if you train تو ہم اس کو نہیں کہیں گے, this is like a mutual sharing of experience. So back at the JSPPL, corporates, ان کو آپ کیا بتانے کی کوشش کر رہے ہیں, یا ان کو کیا ہم کہہ سکتے ہیں سیفلی سے کہ سکھانے کی کوشش کر رہے ہیں, what are we trying to tell them?
دیکھیں ایک چیز میں آپ کو بتاؤں کہ جو میں صرف اس کی ایگزامپل دوں تو لیڈرشپ انڈسٹری کی بات کرتا ہوں. لیڈرشپ انڈسٹری از اباؤٹ $365 بلین اینولی جو ہے نا, یہ اس انڈسٹری کی ویلیو اتنی ہے کرنے کے لیے, رائٹ. US میں کوئی $265 ملین جو ہے نا اینولی اس پہ خرچ کرتے ہوتے ہیں. سو یہ اٹ از اے گروئنگ فینومینا ہے, اس لیے کہ انوائرمنٹ جو ہے نا دے کیپ چینجنگ اسے کرتے ہوتے ہیں. اینڈ ابھی جو آپ نے ٹریننگ کا بتایا, وی ڈونٹ یوز دا ورڈ آف ٹریننگ, وی یوز لرننگ. ایک ورڈ جو ہے یوز کر رہے ہوتے ہیں کرنے کے لیے,
لرننگ,
ٹھیک ہے. پھر اس کے بعد ہم جو ہے نا اب یونیورسٹیز میں اس میں ہم بات کرتے ہوتے ہیں اکیڈیمیا انڈسٹری لنکیج. اس کے بعد ہم بات کر رہے ہیں اب ٹرپل ہیلکس پہ ہم آ گئے, ٹھیک ہے. پھر ہم کوادرا ہیلکس پہ آ گئے, ہیگزا ہیلکس پہ جو ہم آ گئے. نسٹ کو ہم کہتے ہیں کہ ہیگزا ہیلکس یونیورسٹی ہے, 4th جنریشن یونیورسٹی ہے کرنے کے لیے. ناؤ جو پبلک ہے نا, پبلک پالیسی یا پبلک کے جو اسٹیک ہولڈرز ہیں, گورنمنٹ کے جو اسٹیک ہولڈرز ہیں, اٹ از ناٹ اونلی دا پبلک, دا مارکیٹ اینڈ جو پرائیویٹ سیکٹر ہے, اٹ از آلسو اے اسٹیک ہولڈر, بیکاز ریونیو تو یہ جنریٹ کر کے دے رہے ہیں کرنے کے لیے, رائٹ. سو ان کا آپس میں جو ہے نا انٹر آپریبلٹی از آلسو ویری اسینشیل, کہ جی ایک دوسرے کے نیڈس کو سمجھ سکے, ایک دوسرے کے ساتھ جو ہے نا وہ دے کین ٹاک ٹو ایچ ادر آن دیٹ کرنے کے لیے. سو یہ جو اس کے چینجنگ فیس ہے IEDC کا, وہ یہ ہوگا کہ ہم کارپوریٹ کو بھی لک آفٹر آلریڈی ہم کر رہے تھے. ایک میں نے کہا لیڈرشپ میں ایمرجنگ جو ہے نا فیلڈ آ رہے ہیں, جو ہے نا ڈیٹا آ رہا ہے, مختلف چیز آ رہی ہے, تو گائے بگائے اس کی نیڈ ہوتی ہے. اسٹیگننسی جو ہے نا, اگر آپ اسٹیگننٹ رہیں گے تو یو ول بیکم نوکیا, رائٹ, یو ول بیکم کوڈیک. تو جو ہے نا آپ ہمیشہ ایفرٹ کرتے کہ ہم ایوالو کرتے ہیں. تو یہ جو ہے نا, دیٹ از وائی اٹ از اے JSPPL کو ہم دوسرا کہیں گے, اٹ ول بی اے لیونگ آرگینزم. It will be a living organism. It will not be a static entity نہیں ہوگا کرنے کے. جو میں نے آپ کو بتایا کہ the linkage between the academics, between the جو Executive Development Centre ہے, through the innovative policy lab, then our general education, community engagement, جو ہمارے جو ہے skill development ہے, اس کے through ہو کے نا, but that is a system of systems جو ہے نا وہ بنے گا. اس کے لیے ہمیں جو strategic thinking چاہیے ہوگی, and we need to have جو نا پیٹرن ریکگنیشن ہمیں چاہیے ہوگا, اور that is how we intend to grow.
There are two different worlds if you think about it. Experimentation can be very risky in this. I feel that. It's just a genuine inquiry. Once there is a government world and once there is a corporate world. So اب ہوتا ہی ہے کہ انڈسٹری, کاروبار جتنے بھی ہیں, they believe in a move fast and break approach. Whatever happens, whatever innovations are happening, whatever they're doing, whatever failures they are facing, they're only happening inside the company. But when you put it on a larger scale, okay, and then there are two types of accountabilities are different, because the corporate level pe accountability inside the company hai, but then the biggest risk is that when you push it forward to the whole lot of masses in public, and then the accountabilities are different, because company ke andar to aap risk le sakte hain, lekin on a national level. So what is the cost of the failure of a policy?
देखिए, एक cost of failure is can be the IPP is a living example of the cost of the failure, right? کہ اس کو جو نا اس ٹائم پہ اس کو صحیح جو ہے نا وہ نہیں کیا گیا, پبلک سیکٹر کو پرائیویٹ سیکٹر کو انوالو کیا گیا, اینڈ وی اسٹل اس کے ساتھ جو ہے نا میراکل کر رہے ہیں. جو آپ نے بات کی نا کہ کمپنی فیلئر, جو دیکھیں بزنس کا جو ہے نا واٹ از دا پرائمری پرپز آف بزنس, ٹو میکسیمائز پروفٹ, رائٹ. ابھی جو ہے نا وہ اس کی ہر بندے سے میں لگا ہوتا ہے, دے امپلائے جو ان کے سینئر لیڈرشپ ہوتی ہے ملین آف روپیز ملین آف ڈالر کے ساتھ اس کو امپلائے کر رہے ہوتے ہیں کرنے کے لیے, رائٹ. بٹ دین وائی ڈو کم فیل, رائٹ. کہیں نہ کہیں تو فالٹر جو ہے نا وہ کر جاتے ہیں کرنے کے لیے. میں آپ کو ایک ایگزامپل دیتا ہوں. آپ نے کہا کہ جی کراچی میں آپ نے پالیسی بنائی کہ جی ہم پولوشن فری کراچی جو ہے نا اس کو بنانا چاہتے ہیں, رائٹ. اور آپ نے کہا کہ جی جو انڈسٹری جو ہے نا وہ اتنا وہ اپنے اسموک کریٹ کرے گی اس کے اوپر اتنا ٹیکس جو ہے نا امپوز ہوگا کرنے کے لیے, رائٹ. آپ نے لگا تو دیا, لیکن جب اس نے وہ ٹیکس جو ہے نا پے کیا تو وہ کمپیٹیٹیو ہی نہیں رہی, وہ فیکٹری جو ہے نا وہ کمپیٹیٹیو ہی نہیں رہی, بیکاز اس کا جو کاسٹ آف پروڈکشن ہے وہ جو ہے نا اسکلیٹ کر کے باہر چلے گی کرنے کے لیے. ناؤ وائی ڈو وی نیڈ ٹو برنگ دیم آن ٹو ون پلیٹ فارم آف دا IEDC, اس کی دونوں کو ایک دوسرے کے سینسٹیوٹیز کا جو ہے نا پتہ چل جائے کرنے کے لیے. اس فیکٹری والے کو, فیکٹری اونر کو آپ جو ہے نا رڈرلیس چھوڑ دیں, آپ اس کو نہ کر دیں, وہ کہے گا کہ قصور از این ایگزامپل, رائٹ. جہاں پہ جو ہے نا وہ ٹینری والے وہ پانی چھوڑ کے جا رہے ہیں کرنے کے لیے, بیکاز دے آر اونلی کنسرنڈ ود دا پروفٹ, رائٹ. بٹ دا کاسٹ از بینگ پیڈ بائی دا پبلک, بائی دا گورنمنٹ, کہ جو ہے نا اس کے جو ہیلتھ پہ جتنا کاسٹ آیا, لوگوں کے جو ہے نا اس کی ٹریٹمنٹ پہ کتنا کاسٹ آیا, ایجوکیشن پہ اس کا کتنا کاسٹ آیا کرنے کے لیے. سو دیٹ از وائی جو پبلک پالیسی ہے نا یہ پرمیٹ می یو ایوری ون اوور ہیئر. اس کے ایگزامپل میں آپ کو بتاتا ہوں. جب آپ پیدا ہوئے تھے تو آپ کے والدین نے آپ کی برتھ سرٹیفکیٹ بنایا, ٹھیک. جب آپ بڑے ہوئے تو آپ کا جو ہے نا فارم بی میں آپ کا انٹری کروائی, پھر آپ کا شناختی کارڈ بنوایا. جب آپ جو ہے نا یہاں پہ ایڈمیشن لے رہے تھے تو آپ کو کہا گیا کہ یہ آپ کے پی کی گورنمنٹ کے ہیں. میں ایگزامپل دیتا ہوں, تو یو گو اینڈ برنگ اے ڈومیسائل سرٹیفکیٹ آف دا کے پی, رائٹ.
the whole documentation.
خدا نہ کرے, خدا نہ خواستہ ڈیتھ ہوتی ہے تو اس کو بھی آپ رجسٹر کر رہے ہوتے ہیں. سو پبلک جو ہے نا پبلک پالیسیز پبلک ایڈمنسٹریشن جو ہے نا وہ اس کے بغیر ہم سانس بھی مطلب لینا اس طرح مشکل ہو جاتا ہے.
It's about everything.
It's about everything. So that is why جو ہے نا میں کہہ رہا ہوں کہ سسٹم آف تھنکنگ سسٹم جو ہے نا ہے, اینڈ اسکول آف اسکولس ہے, جہاں پہ ہم وی آر ٹرائنگ ٹو we will inshallah we will commit mistakes,
inshallah
there will be problems, we will commit mistakes. کوئی بھی گارنٹی آپ کو نہیں ہے کہ ہم مسٹیک نہیں کریں, بٹ دین وی ول کیپ لرننگ فرام آور مسٹیکس, جس کو ہم کہتے ہیں نا لرننگ آرگنائزیشن. پیٹر سینگے کی بک آپ نے پڑھی ہوگی, The Fifth Discipline آپ نے پڑھی ہوگی.
I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, it's a great book. وہ کہتے ہیں جی لرننگ آرگنائزیشن جو ہے نا وہ دے آر لائک لیونگ آرگنزم کی طرح, اینڈ دے لرن ٹوگیدر ود اے شیئرڈ ویژن کے ساتھ جاتے ہیں. وہ جو ہے نا اپنے سائلوز سے نکل کے دے گرو ٹوگیدر. So that is why, as I said, that JSPPL will be school of schools, and it will be a living organization.
You talk about books. The other day I was thinking, sometimes you're in that zone and you're thinking about the world is changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
Duniya itna tezi se badal rahi hai.
Yeah.
Ke paper has sort of lost its value, right?
Yeah.
So, do you believe in disruptions, Dr. Hassan?
Absolutely.
But then again, this is not the question.
Yeah.
The question is that, do you think books will lose value over time, or do you think look, lots of stress goes out when you ab to Kindles aa gaye, ab to aap screen pe puri kitab padh sakte, but that's again, do you think paper is a better form of learning than digital? Debate ho sakti hai is pe, but what do you think?
Paper definitely. To me, because I'm from the dinosaur generation, پرانے اس کے generation.
I think that is the generation, to be honest with you.
تو جو ہے نا پیپر کے اپنی ایک ویلیو ہے, بیکاز اس میں آپ ایبزارب کر لیتے ہیں اس کو, بٹ ابھی جو Gen Z is not comfortable with the paper.
So,
right?
No offense to the Gen Z, by the way, but this is just an opinion.
دیکھیں میں آپ کو ایک بات, there is a very simple formula میں آپ کو بتاتا ہوں کہ جب آپ پین اٹھاتے ہیں نا تو اس کا مطلب ہے کہ آپ کا تھاٹ پروسیس جو ہے نا وہ اس ہاتھ کے تھرو آپ کے دماغ کے پاس چلا گیا, رائٹ. جب اب میں اگر کرتا ہوں مثال کے طور پہ, آپ جب یہ انگلیاں رکھتے ہیں نا کی پیڈ کے اوپر, تو آپ کا تھاٹ پروسیس جو ہے نا وہ یہاں سے کنیکٹ ہو کے برین کے پاس چلا گیا. نا وی آر ورکنگ آن 2 ڈفرنٹ میڈیمس کے تھرو جو ہے کام کر رہے ہیں. تو جین زی جو ہے نا وہ اس پہ ہے ہی نہیں, عادت ہی نہیں ہے ان کو جو ہے نا اس کو کرنے کی. اینڈ وی ہیو ٹو, بیکاز ہم نے کہا کہ جی 70% جو ہے نا اس میں سے ہاف آف دا ایمرجنسی وی ہیو ٹو رسپونڈ ٹو دیم. وی کانٹ برنگ اے اسٹک اینڈ ٹیل دیم کہ جو نا آپ نے ہماری طریقے سے کام کرنا ہے. وی ہیو ٹو رسپونڈ واٹ دے نیڈ, چاہے وہ اکیڈمکس میں ہے, چاہے جو نا پیپر ریڈنگ میں ہے, چاہے بک ریڈنگ میں ہے, ہم نے ان کو رسپونڈ کرنا ہے.
I don't know about the times that we had, but اب generations پہلے discuss نہیں ہوتی تھی. Now the generations are being discussed, you know, boomers and the millennials and then all sorts of generations, Z, Alpha and whatever. But they're just people, right? At the end of the day, they're just people.
They're different people.
They are different?
They're just not just
Do you really believe they're different?
Yeah. They're not just people. They are different people. وہ کہتے ہیں ہسٹری میں they are the most unique generation that has come up.
کیا ایسا تو نہیں ہوتا کہ ہر جنریشن کو لگتا ہے کہ اس سے اگلی جنریشن ڈفرینٹ ہے, یا یہ ایکچوئل میں ڈفرینٹ ہے؟
ایویڈنس کہتی ہے نا. جب میں نے کہا ہم نے JSPPL میں تو ہم ایویڈنس کے بغیر بات ہی نہیں کرتے نا, ٹھیک ہے. ایویڈنس آپ کو یہ کہتی ہے کہ جین زی جو ہے نا وہ ڈفرینٹ ہے فرام آل دی ادر جنریشن. ایک تو ڈیجیٹل کنیکٹیوٹی تو ایک بات ہے نا, ٹھیک ہے. دیکھیں کہ دے وانٹ ٹو بی کنیکٹیڈ, دے وانٹ ٹو بی انوالوڈ, انکلوسیو ہونا چاہتے ہیں, ٹھیک ہے. ہمارے زمانے میں جب ہمارے پیرنٹس بات کر رہے ہوتے تو وہ کہتے ہیں کہ اب تم کیا کر رہے ہو, یہاں سے چلے جاؤ, ہم سیریس بات نہیں کر رہے. دے وانٹ ٹو بی انوالوڈ. ابھی جو جنریشن ہے دے آر مور انٹرپرینیورل ان دیئر مائنڈ سیٹ. وہ اسکول میں, کالج میں, ابھی ہمارے آپ کی یونیورسٹی میں دیکھیں گے بچے ہیں جو کہ پڑھائی بھی کر رہے ہیں اینڈ دے آر ارننگ فار دیم سیلف
فرام ویری ینگ ایج.
فرام ویری ینگ ایج. ہمارے اس میں کبھی سوچتا بھی نہیں تھا کہ اس طرح بھی ہو سکتا ہے کرنے کے لیے, رائٹ. دین جو دیئر اویئرنیس اینڈ دیئر ناؤ اوپننیس ٹو ٹاک اباؤٹ دا مینٹل ہیلتھ, پہلے کوئی اس طرح بات ہی نہیں کرتا تھا کرنے کے لیے, رائٹ. سو جین زی از ڈفرنٹ. پھر دوسرا یہ کہ ان کا بیکاز آف دا ڈیجیٹائزیشن ان کا اٹینشن اسپین جو ہے نا کم ہو گیا. جو ہمارے زمانے میں اٹینشن اسپین, اب اٹینشن اسپین کم ہو گیا. سو یو ہیو ٹو ٹیچ دیم ان پلسز میں, آپ نے جو ان کو ٹیچ کرنا ہوگا کرنے کے لیے. ان کا جو نیورل پاتھ ویز ہے نا اس جنریشن جین زی کے, دے آر ڈفرنٹ دین آرس. Neural pathways are different.
Your expertise in emotional intelligence
not an
as well,
expertise,
right?
I'm a student, but as I said, their neural pathways are different. Abhi wo ek author hai Haider, iske naam hai. He has written a book, The Anxious Generation. وہ کہتے ہیں کہ یہ پوری کی پوری جنریشن جو ہے نا وہ anxious ہے.
Anxious generation.
He calls it the anxious generation because he says that while remaining digitally connected, جب آپ digitally connected ہوتے ہیں تو you are more prone to the negative aspects of life جو آپ کو کر رہے ہوتے ہیں. سو بائی دا ٹائم یہ 11 سال کی ایج میں آ کے ان کی جو اینکشیسنس میں ڈیولپ ہو جاتی ہے اس جنریشن کے اندر. اینکشیسنس جو ہے نا ہو جاتی ہے, اینڈ وین دے آر اینکشیس سو دے آر مور اریٹیٹیڈ, دے آر آن دا ایج پہ جو ہے نا وہ ہوتے ہیں کرنے کے لیے. سو دیئر اٹینشن از ڈیوائڈیڈ.
All right, Dr. Hassan, I think we need plenty of time on this.
Absolutely.
So let's wrap it up with a couple of things that I wanted to ask. Jalil se aapse pooch lu. We have little time left. Can leadership be taught? Because that is the question. And that is the second half of the JSPPL. Do you think leadership can be taught?
Yeah, now again, as you said, that there was been a great debate how the study of leadership evolved. And first they said that there are only big men, right, who are heavenly, divinely, they are brought into this world and they will deliver at the time of crisis. But then the people realize that no, there are not only great men, there are traits, then there are behaviors, there are contingencies, there are different aspects. But leadership, as I said in the beginning, is $265 billion industry. And if it was not being taught, if it could not have been taught, why would they put so much money into it?
نہیں, یہ innate trait نہیں ہے.
Innate trait نہیں ہے. It can be جو ہے نا آپ اس کو دیکھیں, آپ ایک تو ہے نا کہ اگر میں I will slightly میں digress کر لیتا ہوں, ہونا تو یہ چاہیے کہ آپ بچپن سے ہی جو ہے نا, جب آپ پیرنٹ ہیں, آپ لوگ اس ایج میں ہیں کہ جب آپ کا بیبی جو ہے نا while it is in the being, اس وقت سے آپ اس میں انویسٹ کرنا شروع کریں کہ میں اس بچے کو میں نے لیڈر بنانا ہے, تو پھر تو ڈیفینیٹلی جو ہے نا آپ اس کو بنا سکیں گے. بٹ اب گائے لائک می جو کہ زیادہ نہیں ہوا, تو دین یو ہیو ٹو جو اس کے ہوتے ہیں نا انٹرونشنز آپ نے کرنی ہوں گی اس کو لیڈرشپ بنانے کے لیے. سو ایویڈنس بیسڈ چیزیں ہوتی ہیں, آپ ان کو جو ہے نا لائک دا وے آئی جو ہے نا وہ کرتا ہوں لیڈرشپ کو, میں پڑھتا ہوں یا میں پڑھاتا ہوں اسے کرنے کے لیے. وہ آل ٹوگیدر نارملی آج کل لوگ ٹرانسفارمیشنل لیڈرشپ کی جو ہے نا بڑی بات کر رہے ہوتے ہیں کہ ویژن آپ نے کیسے انکلکیٹ کرنا ہے, لیڈرشپ نے ڈسرپشن جو ہے نا کیسے کاز کرنی ہے. میرا جو ہے نا اسٹینڈ پوائنٹ وہ یہ ہے کہ آپ نا اس کے نیورو سائنس اسپیکٹ سے اس بندے کو دیکھیں کہ جی آپ کے وہ جو اسٹرکچرل چینجز جو ہے نا آپ اس میں کیسے لا سکتے ہیں تھرو اے پروسیس دیٹ آئی کال ایز دا نیورو پلاسٹیسٹی, کہ آپ اس کی نیورل پاتھ ویز ہی اس کی چینج کر دیں کہ ہاؤ ول ہی بیکم اے بیٹر پرسن. اینڈ جو ہے نا جس کو ایک اور چیز میں اس کو بتاتا ہوتا ہوں کہ ایک ہم اس کو کہتے ہیں اسٹڈی آف سائنس آف ایموشن, ایک چیز ہم پڑھاتے ہیں. اسٹڈی آف ایموشن جو ہے نا وہ یہ کہتی ہے کہ جو لیڈرشپ کا ایموشن ہے نا, لیڈر کا جو ایموشن ہے 2 hours میں پورے کے پورے آرگنائزیشن میں اٹ پرمیٹس, رائٹ. سو وہ جو ہے نا اس لیڈر کو اپنے ایموشنس کو کیسے جو ہے نا وہ نیوانس کرے گا کہ پوری کی پوری آرگنائزیشن جو ہے نا وہ اس کے ساتھ ڈرائیو کر لے. جس کے لیے میں کہتا ہوں ایک فیکٹر کہ سائیکولوجیکل سیفٹی جو ہے نا اگر ایک لیڈر پروڈیوس کرے گا کہ جہاں پہ میں فری ہوں بات کرنے کے لیے ٹو ڈیفر ود یو, اس کو ایک اور ہم وہ کرتے ہوتے ہیں کانفلکٹ انٹیلیجنس, کہ وہ لیڈر جو ہے نا اگر اپنی آرگنائزیشن کے اندر جو میں نے پہلے بات کی لرننگ آرگنائزیشن کی بات کی نا, اگر وہ سائیکولوجیکل سیفٹی پرووائڈ کرتا ہے اینڈ کانفلکٹ انٹیلیجنس کریٹ کرتا ہے اپنے سیٹ اپ کے اندر, سو آئی ول بی ایبل ٹو ڈیفر ود یو, رائٹ. And when I am able to differ with you, I can have a new creative idea. But if I am asked to obey you blindly, I will never have a creative idea. And unless and until you have a creativity in your organization, you will be Nokia.
I wish we had more time.
I wish. I would love to be with you again and again. I enjoyed this session. It was a wonderful opportunity. You're doing a wonderful job at bringing the people over here. And connecting them to the larger NUST community.
Well, thank you, and we wish you all the best for the Jinnah School of Public Policy and Leadership.
It's a challenge, as I said, and it is an opportunity for us to contribute in the national building and to create better citizens and better leaders from this school.
Thank you, Dr. Hassan. Thank you for dropping by.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.